welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a fun little video for Vlogmas Day 16. It's actually going to be a wrapping vlog, so we're going to wrap my presents and just kind of have a little chit chat, just talk about a bunch of different things. I asked you guys on Instagram what you wanted to have a little chat about, so I got a few responses on there that I'm going to address, but otherwise we're just gonna like chit chat a little bit. If you want to be included in the next time we do a little chit chat something, definitely follow me on Instagram at megan.brew. I post some fun like stories and stuff like that too, of like behind the scenes of life and stuff like that. So definitely be sure to follow me on there. I am wearing my ugly sweater from our ugly sweater party because I'm going to another Christmas party tonight. So it was a perfect time, I feel like, for me to wrap and be ready. I just hit myself right in the gut when I did that. It was a perfect time for me to wrap and kind of just get going because I want to get ahead, so I wanted to get some wrapping done. So we're gonna do that and just chat. Right now we just filmed the taste test on my mom's video. We always do like a Trader Joe's taste test and we just filmed it, so I just need like a hot cup of just like plain coffee to kind of wash the sweetness down. And I know that I'm going to be up late tonight, so the coffee was necessary. Okay, so let's get right into it. If you guys didn't see in one of my hauls, I got this wrapping paper at Marshall's and it is literally so cute and it's so perfect because it just screams me. There's little dogs all over it. Like, are you kidding me? It is so cute. So I got that, and I feel like people will know definitely where everything was from once they see that wrapping paper. So I'm thinking we just kind of chit chat. I'm going to be kind of like looking down because I'm going to be cutting and stuff. I'm not going to like show you guys how to wrap because I'm not very good at wrapping. So I just thought we would chit chat while I wrap presents. I'm not going to show you guys what I got people. More for the fact that I know a lot of my friends and family watch my videos and I just don't want to like not let them watch it because of that. So yeah, I am just going to be kind of wrapping and chatting with you guys. But if you guys want to know what I got everyone, I can totally do like maybe a segment on like my Instagram story or something on what I got people. I will say I posted a gift guide on my Instagram story and that kind of gives a hint into what I got some people. So if you are looking for gift ideas, definitely check that out. Coffee break. Something about a hot cup of coffee is just too good. I just wanted to say to you guys real quick before we get into the things you guys wanted to talk about, like, thank you so much for all the support on my last video. I talked a lot about like my anxiety and stuff like that, and it was just great to have people commenting on that and just like, I know I haven't been doing YouTube and stuff for that long, but just knowing that how much you guys support me, and like some of you guys were like giving me resources and stuff to look into, and like it was just so sweet, and so I just really appreciate that. And sometimes anxiety for some people can be a hard topic. It's not so much for me because I've grown up talking about it and I have like really great and supportive parents when it comes to that, and they kind of know what helps me through it. But sometimes it can be hard to talk about it for some people, and so I encourage you to, if you are suffering from anxiety or something, to find your people of who you can talk to and who you can trust. I have some friends that I just know are there to help me with my anxiety. Maybe they have anxiety, so it just helps having someone that understands is like the biggest thing for me personally with my anxiety, is just feeling alone sometimes is the hardest part, like feeling like nobody understands you. So just having people in your life that you can rely on and can go to if you need someone to even just talk to is just super important. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who supported me, and I don't know, I think this is good. I want to make this like an open community, especially about anxiety stuff, because it was hard for me for a little while to talk about it, and so now like I'm pretty open about it. So if I can help someone like understand their anxiety or find some ways to help with theirs, that's what I want to do. Meanwhile, first present is wrapped, so I have to write the to from little stickers. I just got these from my mom. Let's see if there's dog ones. There's dog ones. That's literally perfect. I don't know, am I supposed to take them out of that thing? I'm not so sure, but so let's start on the questions and things you guys sent in for me to talk about, because I just want to be able to touch on what you guys want to hear about too. The first thing someone asked about is best little tricks you've learned through dog training, phrases, hacks, etc. So I was just telling my friend about this the other day, but the best thing, so if you guys don't know a little bit more information on the dog training stuff and stuff like that, I focus on positive reinforcement based dog training. So it's a lot of reward based training, like treats and stuff like that. I don't use equipment like shock collars and prong collars. This channel is not going to be for me to tell you the reasons why I do that. That's just what I do. I just wanted to tell you guys that so that you understand a little bit more where my point of view comes from and stuff, because that is where I trained under positive reinforcement trainers. So that's kind of what I know and what I do. And I love it. As of right now, I'm never going to say never, but as of right now, that's all I see myself doing. And it's been so rewarding being a positive reinforcement based trainer. And I don't know. We're not going to get too deep into that, but just so you guys know, for context wise, that's what I focus on. So a lot of my knowledge is that kind of background. I mentored under a positive reinforcement based trainer. So it's a lot of my ideals and stuff are surrounded around that. If you guys want a video on why I'm positive reinforcement based, we can maybe do that, but I'm just not going to get into it here. I'm just going to talk about that. And I wanted you guys to know my background. For those of you who don't know, dog training is a completely unregulated industry, which is absolutely ridiculous. Anyone on the street can just say they're a dog trainer, even if they've done zero mentorships, zero research, zero anything. They can just say they're a dog trainer and charge you thousands of dollars to bring your dog to someone that doesn't even know what they're doing. So dog training, in my opinion, should be regulated, and it's ridiculous that it's not. There should be more rules and laws and regulations around dog training. Like I said, anyone can just say they're a dog trainer. I have been training my own dogs my whole life. I have done a lot of research. I've read a lot of books on it now, and I have done over a year of a mentorship with a trainer in my area, various trainers actually too. I've gone to a few different ones and helped out at their classes and gone to private training sessions with them just so I can learn more. I would never be the type of person that would feel comfortable saying I'm a dog trainer without having any prior knowledge. Like, I don't know how people are even comfortable with that, but I would never personally do that. And if I'm telling you I'm a dog trainer, I'm gonna be like, I don't have as much experience as the other trainers that I like work with and stuff, but it helps that I kind of was around those trainers. And if you agree with their ideals, then that's what I was brought up around, if that makes sense. So with dog training, it can be very like, you can get 1,000 different answers from 1,000 different people because dog training is so unregulated. People can just say that their way is the right way, and that doesn't necessarily mean it is. And yeah, I won't deep dive too far into that because I could go on and on about that. But just so you guys are aware, dog training is an unregulated industry. If you're looking to get a dog trainer, please do your research because that is super, super, super important. You want to make sure whoever you're getting training from or boarding or any of that sort of stuff, make sure they know what they're doing. See who they mentored under. You have every right to ask questions. Ask them where they're getting their knowledge and their information. That's just as important. And I would want for your guys' dogs to be safe wherever you choose to go to. So just a little PSA. But one of the best things one of my mentor trainers ever said to me was actually, I was helping out at one of their classes, and somebody had come up and been like, when can I stop using treats for my dog? Like, when can we just walk and they not have treats? And she looked at them and said, would you work without a paycheck? And it was silent. Like, the power of that statement, and it kind of sums up for me what positive reinforcement training is. And it's so true. Like, if you ask anyone right now, money is a huge thing in our world right now. And like, everybody works for money, and it's always, are we being paid enough? Like, stuff like that. And so why is it any different for dogs? And when she said that, it really clicked for me. The idea and what positive reinforcement training is really just fell into place when she said that to me, because it just resonated so much with me. Like, to me, that's so true. Like, I know my worth, and I know I wouldn't work for a certain amount of money for something, or I wouldn't work without a paycheck, like no free, like whatever. You know, we all have those certain ideals on being paid and payments and stuff like that. Dogs have those too. I don't know. And just like another thing that happened is the trainer that I mentored under, she was very much so like, you don't get to choose what's valuable to your dog, they get to choose. So This kind of goes hand in hand with resource guarding. I don't know if you guys know what that is. If not, look up a video on it, because if you're interested in learning about it, I'm not going to deep dive into like the logistics and stuff like that, but just something she said about resource guarding is she and we teach trades a lot. So if your dog has a bone, trading it for something, but it has to be higher value. And this can be if they get a hold of a bunny and you have to trade for it, you have to trade up to get that bunny away. Why? As a dog, if a bunny is really valuable for me and you're trying to hand me kibble, when I get that kibble every single day, I'm not giving up my bunny. I'm not giving up this delicious bunny for that kibble. I guess that's like a bad like thing to say to me. But it's, oh, if I had a cookie and you wanted to take the cookie away from me, but you tried to hand me carrots, I'd be like, no, I'm not trading my cookie for carrots. Like, no, like absolutely not. Dogs think like that too. So if you're trying to trade their kibble for something very high valuable, a piece of pizza they found on the side of the road, a dead rabbit, a dead bird, you have to trade up. And you don't decide what is more valuable to them, they do. So you can't be like, cheese is very high value, that should work. They decide if that's more valuable. Some dogs are more food driven, some dogs are more toy driven. It's really important, I would say, to learn your dog and learn what they like best. If you know they're not food motivated, find what makes them tick. Find what they love so that you know in those important situations where maybe they do get into a dead bird and you have to trade up. What do they love? If you can't sit there and say they love this, this, and this, then maybe you need to do some more deep diving of you with your dog, like experience those things together and learn from each other. Like that's the best thing about having a dog is you learn from each other. And that's how I've learned so much over the years. And for the past few months since I opened my business is I have my hands on so many different dogs that I'm really getting to learn how different each dog is and how to like overcome that, which is why I think I love what I do. And if you're wanting to get into the dog or animal industry, get your hands on as many dogs as you can. That's the best way you can learn, is actually doing it and being in it. Second, gift wrapped. Those might have been little tangents, but it's just like things that I've learned that I've found really neat and stuff like that. So I just like wanted to put those out there. Other things I've really learned how to use a lure. So in dog training with like their treats and stuff like that, you can lure them to do what it is you are asking them to do. So asking them to do a sit for a puppy that doesn't do a sit, instead of forcing them to do it, you can actually lure them. So if you put the cookie right in front of their nose and you pull it upwards, so you literally, their head will naturally follow it. And as their head goes up, as puppies, their butt goes down. So when you're luring them, they will get into a sit, and that's how you can train a sit, instead of forcing them to do something, which they're not learning as well when you're forcing them. If I said, sit there and do math for 8 hours, are you going to be a genius at math? No, like that's not how doing it. Like it's all in practice. And if you can actually get them to do it themselves, they'll learn it a lot faster because they're doing the work. They're thinking about it and they're being like, and then they can connect okay, when she says sit, I can do that thing where she was putting like they connect better that way. So you can train so many things with lures and using the treats. Again, if your dog is toy motivated, you can use a toy for this kind of stuff too. Like figure out what makes your dog tick. Figure out their high versus low value treats. Every single dog is different. And that is something I have truly learned the most from opening my business. And it's helped me so much kind of navigate that when I am with a new dog, trying to figure out what makes them tick. So those might have been little rants, but yeah, those are best little like tricks and stuff that I've learned through dog training and kind of doing what I do. And I'm sure I'll think of like 20 more once I get off this video, but for now, those are like the main ones that I'm thinking of. I will come back to that one if I think of some more, because I'm sure I'll think of like a million more, but that's such a good question. And I wish I had thought of some beforehand. I'm trying to think if there's off the top of my head, if there's anything else. That one about just like, would you work without a paycheck is the most prominent to me and has stuck with me the most because it just resonates a lot with me. And I think in dog training, that's what you have to find is the things that you resonate with the most, especially because it's so unregulated. And that was just something that really spoke to me when the trainer that I work with said that. I was like, wow, like, yeah, that's exactly what, it just explained everything for me. Like, it really put things into perspective, and it really just like helped me understand more what exactly was being done by positive reinforcement training and stuff. So I just loved that. That is probably my favorite, and I will tell people a million times over about that, because that was probably one of my favorite experiences working in this industry. When I had that realization, it literally all just clicked for me. And I hope it does the same for you, because it was truly incredible, that feeling of just understanding that and feeling like I understood. I don't know. It was amazing. The next question I see is talking about like dogs pulling while walking. I do offer walking trains, and most of it is for that type of situation. A lot of dogs, see, it's hard, and this is why I offer it as a service, because dogs can be pulling for different reasons. If a dog is pulling, a dog can be pulling out of excitement, a dog can be pulling out of nerves, a dog can be pulling because they want to go see something. Like, it's so situational, so it really depends on exactly what's going on. You really have to assess the situation, and that's where trainers are so awesome, because they can kind of help you understand a little bit more why your dog's acting a certain way, and just like be able to explain it to you if you personally don't know body language and stuff that well, which I totally recommend everybody. If you own a dog, or if you like dogs, or just in general, I feel like a lot of people should know a little bit about dog body language, because it can be super helpful, and I think it could help avoid a lot of situations. If you haven't seen my rants on TikTok before, you know I've run into situations that were so mind-boggling that people with dogs wouldn't know better. And I just think we all need to know a little bit of dog body language. But I just think it could help so many things if a lot more people were aware of dog body language, and don't approach a dog if they look like this. Like, some people don't see those things, and I just think it could be super helpful. And especially because dogs' nature, how they protect themselves, can be in the form of biting, growling, other things like that. And so just being able to understand them and kind of help them through tough situations like that, so that they don't feel like they have to resort to taking care of the situation themselves. I think we should all try and figure out how we can help our own dogs, and how to approach other dogs, so that they don't feel like they have to take situations into their own hands. If you have a dog, you have to be your dog's advocate. That's like one of the things when you get a dog that you sign up for, is being their advocate. And if you can tell your dog is in an uncomfortable situation, you know your dog best. At the end of the day, you know your dog best, because you live with them, you've raised them, you've been around them the most. You know your dog best. So you can usually tell the signs. You just know your dog. So just being able to be an advocate. And if someone's approaching your dog and you can tell they're uncomfortable, being like, we don't like, sorry, they're nervous, like they don't really want to be pet right now. Like, you stand up for them so that they don't feel like they have to stand up for themselves. I don't know, that had nothing to do with anything, but I just feel like that's an important one to add in there. So the next topic to talk about and chit chat about is what surprised you once you started your business. And this is a good one. And honestly, being in like the dog walking, dog training industry, the thing that surprised me the most was how much driving I would be doing. I did not expect that. I don't know what I expected from starting this kind of business. Obviously, it's a lot of traveling from to people's houses and stuff like that. So I don't really know exactly what I was expecting. It's not that I wasn't expecting the driving. I just guess I didn't realize how much, like most of my day is driving. Like, I usually am at people's houses or places for like a half hour, and then I'm driving to the next place, and the driving gets old. I actually hate driving personally. It is just not for me. I cannot stand driving, and I literally would rather do anything than drive. I've always been that way ever since I was old enough to drive. I have hated driving. I got my driver's license because obviously it's convenient, and I feel like with the way of the world, I need my license now, but I literally hate driving. And all my friends know this, and they're amazing, and usually they'll like offer to drive places because I just hate it so much. It gives me so much anxiety. I guess it's probably my anxiety that makes me hate it so much, but that is literally my least favorite part about my job. And the thing that surprised me most is how much driving I do all the time. And it's just not fun, the driving. And honestly, sometimes when I wake up and I'm like, "Ugh, I don't want to like get up and go today," it's because of the driving. Once I get to each place and I see the dogs and I see how excited they are to see me and stuff like that, it makes everything worth it. So I get through it. But literally, if I wake up, and I have had days before where I'm like, "Ugh, I just don't want to, I just want to stay home today. I just want to be home." It's because of the driving. It has nothing, like, I love what I do with the dogs. It is amazing. I love it. And I wouldn't trade doing what I do for the world. Like, when I tell you it is my favorite thing and it gets me through hard times and stuff like that, it truly is. So I really wouldn't trade it for the world, but the driving does get old. It also kind of surprised me this is very industry specific. I guess both of the things that I answered are very industry specific, but it surprised me how nice other people in this industry were. Like, everybody was so accepting. When I started dog walking, people reached out to me and this was like, "This is awesome. Like, I have clients, like people that have come to me that need services in your area. I will send them your way." People were so nice. And I know that's not the case for a lot of other industries. Trust me, I've started a business in another industry before and I'm currently starting another one. So I know that is not the case in all industries, but just that was something that really surprised me about this industry, and something I love the most about this industry is truly how supportive everyone is. Like, everybody is wants to see you succeed and stuff like that, and I can't really say that for other industries that I haven't been in before. Being in business is always going to be very competitive to a certain nature, but this business setting, being in the dog world, people in this industry usually just want to see dogs get help, especially as like a trainer and stuff too. So they're very like push other people to you, and if they have clients that can go to you, like, everybody's very open to like sharing clients if they can and helping each other out. Like, the other business owners, we all kind of band together, and if I can help another business owner, I do. If they can help me, they usually do. And so like, that's been the best thing about this business and this industry in general. So yeah, that was probably the biggest things that surprised me. Otherwise, not industry specific. I would say finances are really hard. So if you guys don't know, I went to business school. I went to school for business management and I minored in entrepreneurship. So I learned a lot about starting a business and stuff like that through school, which I'm very appreciative of. I think it helped me know how to start a business and kind of be able to figure it out. It gave me a ton of resources to be able to start a business, which I will forever be grateful for. But a lot of my small business knowledge is through school, and also because now I have started 2 businesses and I'm starting another one right now. So I'm not going to talk about that too much right now, but some of you have seen on Instagram. And if you follow me on Instagram at mega.brew, you have also probably seen some little hints. So that's where a lot of my knowledge comes from. And I think the biggest thing that not surprised me, but necessarily, I just feel like everybody needs to be aware of if they're starting a business. Being a small business owner, I always heard in college people would say, and in my entrepreneurship classes, it was very like, owning a business is a roller coaster. There's a lot of ups, there's highs, there's very low lows. And that has held true for all of the businesses that I've started. And it can be extremely tough. And I think the other biggest thing that actually surprised me about owning a business is how lonely it is. There's so many people supporting you on the internet and online and stuff like that. But because, especially for me right now, I don't have like employees or anyone else that I work with or anything. So it's just me, and that gets very lonely. That's the one thing I feel like I am missing from like working a corporate job. I always knew I wasn't the corporate job kind of person, but one thing I guess I would miss from that, or am feeling like I am missing out on, is having that corporate kind of relationships and stuff like that. So I guess like that's the biggest thing too, is just that it can be very lonely and everybody supports you online, and I extremely appreciate all of the support I have received. It has been truly amazing and kind of helps keep me going, especially when it can be so lonely. But just like knowing that going into it, a business can be very lonely, especially at first because you're doing everything yourself. It can be very overwhelming. So just like knowing that, I feel like is important as a small business owner, or if you're looking to start a small business and stuff like that. One other question that I got that I wanted to address real quick is, do you have any advice for your past self? And this is a hard one. I have gone through so much this past year. For those of you who know me, know that it's been a tough year for me. And all problems are relative. Just remember that, like when anybody's talking about a hard time that they're going through, everything is relative to what they're going through and things that they've gone through in the past. So I am completely aware that it's not the end of the world. So the things that have happened to me this year, and they were hard in the moment, and I'll get through them and stuff like that. And I've gotten through a lot of them. And I'm just completely aware that every problem is relative. I think I would say to myself, just do what you want to do, and everyone's going to judge you no matter what you do. So you might as well do what makes you happy. And I always heard that quote growing up and stuff like that. And it never resonated to me like it does now. Like, I feel like now I truly understand it and everything, because I always was so afraid of people judging me or thinking I'm weird or thinking I'm stupid or anything like that. And I hate that I grew up that way, and I carried a lot of that weight in what I wore, what I did with my hair, what makeup I wore, how I spoke. If I spoke to someone, I'd think about it for the next year because I would think that I said something stupid and they would think I'm weird. And it's just not worth it. That stress is not worth it. If people think you are weird and they're talking about you, that's their problem, not yours. And most of the time, you're never even going to find out if they're talking about you, and you'll never know. So it's not even worth stressing over. They're going to talk about you no matter what you do. So if you're doing something you hate, they're still going to talk about you. Oh my God, do you see that she's doing this? Blah, blah, blah. They're most likely still going to talk about you. So you might as well be doing what you love and enjoy what you're doing. And then if they want to talk about you, who cares? Because you're doing what you love to do. So because I had always wanted to start a YouTube channel and stuff like that. And in high school and stuff, I was like, oh my God, I'll wait until college. And then college came and I was like, well, obviously I'm going to wait until I'm out of college because I don't want to be weird in college and stuff. And I just like think I would have done life so much differently. And obviously you learn through your experiences, so I wouldn't change anything. But I just wish I could have told myself that and had that realization back then, so that I started doing what I love doing from the beginning. I've had people that have, through starting two businesses and doing a business through college and stuff too, I have had so many people tell me like, oh, like, I don't know if you're going to be successful with this, or I don't know if doing dog stuff is going to be sustainable for your life. And I don't know, business is tough. It's tough to be a woman in business, and like, good luck, like stuff. Like, I've been told, like, honestly, you guys wouldn't believe the things people have said to me, because when I think back on them, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, somebody actually said that to me. Like, that's how ridiculous it is. And just like, you can't listen to them. Like, I think I've learned enough now to not just ignore that. People still all the time say, how are you going to make a living walking dogs? And I do so much more than walk dogs, and I don't have to justify myself to anyone else. I know there are people out there that think that, and I'm just like, whatever, because I enjoy what I'm doing. I don't know. There's just a lot of times if people are talking about you or they have something negative to say, it's because of how they're reflecting on their own lives. So we can't take it too seriously. Do what you want to do what you love doing, and that's all that matters. Life is too short to worry about what everybody else thinks, and I wish I knew that sooner. So that was my rant. Thank you guys for helping me wrap all of these gifts. They are not beautiful, but they're wrapped, and that's all that matters. Still obsessed with this wrapping paper because, I'm sorry, the dogs, I'm done. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for having this little chit chat with me. It was super fun. I hope this helped you guys learn a little bit more about me. Sorry for all of my tangents. You guys know that's what happens when you chit chat with me. My brain thinks a mile a minute. So that's just what happens. If you guys want to do more videos like this, let me know. I can ask you guys more what you guys want to chit chat about on my Instagram. So definitely, like I said, be sure to follow me on there, and I will see you guys in the next vlog. Happy Vlogmas Day 16. All right, bye guys.